Hello everyone, welcome to FinStack Academy. I'm Uday Elchuri. Whether you are learning Oracle, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, or any other ERP application, many learners make one common mistake. They focus only on learning how to perform transaction inside the application. But an ERP system is much more than entering data. To truly master any ERP module, you need to understand the complete picture. In this video, I will share a simple framework that I personally recommend to every ERP learner. If you cover these 6 key elements while learning any module, you will build much stronger foundation and become a better ERP professional. But before we get into those 6 elements, let me share one important piece of advice. An ERP application is simply a tool. What truly drives a successful ERP implementation is the business process behind it. If you already have domain expertise in finance, procurement, supply chain, manufacturing, human resources, or any other business function, you already one step ahead because you understand how businesses operate. However, if you are completely new to ERP, don't start by memorizing screens, menus, or navigation. Instead, first understand how a business actually works. Learn the complete business process. Understand why a particular activity is performed, who performs it, what documents are involved, how information flows from one department to another, and finally, how the ERP system support that entire process. Once you understand the business, learning the ERP application becomes much easier because you will know why each transaction exists, not just how to perform it. Now, let's look at the 6 essential elements you should cover while learning any ERP module. Step 1. Configurations. Every ERP module begins with configurations. Configurations define the business rules that tell the ERP system how it should behave. Examples include organization structure, ledger, approval rules, payment terms, accounting rules, profile options, etc. Without proper configurations, transactions cannot function correctly. So whenever you start learning a new module, don't just ask, how do I use it? Instead, ask, how is this module configured? Understanding the setup gives you a much deeper understanding of how the application works. Step 2. Master data. Once the configurations are in place, the next step is master data. Master data refers to information that is created once and reused across multiple transactions. Examples include customers, suppliers, employees, inventory items, assets, bank accounts, and so on. Think of a master data as the foundation of every business transaction. Without a supplier, you cannot create a purchase order. Without a customer, you cannot create a sales invoice. Understanding master data is essential because almost every transaction depends on it. Step 3. Transactions. Now we come to the part that most learners immediately jump into. Transactions. These are the day-to-day business activities performed within the ERP system. Examples include purchase orders, invoices, payments, receipts, journal entries. But here is something very important. Never learn transactions in isolation. Every transaction is part of a larger business process. For example, a supplier invoice does not simply appear in the ERP system. It starts with a business requirement, then comes the supplier selection, purchase requisition, purchase order, receipt of goods or services, invoice processing, payment, and finally accounting. If you only know how to enter an invoice, you are simply learning software. But if you understand the complete procure to pay process, you are becoming an ERP professional. That's what organizations value. Step 4. reporting. Once transactions are completed, the next question comes, how do we analyze the data? That's where reporting comes in. Every ERP system provides various reports that help businesses make informed decisions. Examples include financial statements, standard reports, dashboards, BI publisher reports, KPI dashboard, etc. Remember, an ERP system is valuable not because it stores data, it's valuable because it transforms data into meaningful business information. Step 5, period end process. One of the most overlooked areas by beginners is the period end process. At the end of every accounting period, organizations perform several important activities to ensure accurate financial reporting. These activities may include accruals, depreciation, reconciliation, closing subledgers, posting journal entries, finally closing the general ledger. Learning the period end process helps you understand how all day to day transactions come together to produce accurate financial statements. This is an area that distinguishes experienced ERP professionals from beginners. Step 6, integrations. Finally, no ERP system works in isolation. Modern ERP applications communicate with many other applications. Examples include payroll systems, banking systems, CRM applications, procurement portals, tax engines, third party applications. As an ERP consultant, you should always understand, where does the data originate? How does it enter the ERP system? Where does it go after processing? Understanding integrations gives you the complete picture of how ERP fits into an organization's overall technology ecosystem. So, whenever you start learning a new ERP module, don't stop at transactions. Instead, make sure you cover these 6 key elements. And most importantly, always remember that business process knowledge is the foundation of a successful ERP career. ERP applications are only tools that automate business process. The better you understand how businesses operate in the real world, the easier it becomes to understand any ERP application, whether it's Oracle, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, or any other platform. Technology may evolve, user interfaces may change, new features will continue to be introduced, but business process remain the foundation of every successful ERP implementation. I hope this framework helps you structure your ERP learning journey. At FinStack Academy, we believe learning should be practical, conceptual, and career focused. If that's the kind of content you are looking for, make sure to subscribe and join us on this learning journey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.